Chapter 3. The Ship's the Thing. Morning doesn't so much creep over the horizon in San Alfonso as shift suddenly from night to day. You've been to ports, mostly in the north, where the dawn hours are leisurely. The sounds and smells of early rising bakers fills the half-light. But in San Alfonso, other than the distant shrieking of howler monkeys and a cacophony of birds, there's little preparation between the sleeping hours and the arrival of day. You roll over in your bed in a small room at the Lobo Negro, alone. Damn it! I was hoping it was going to be like I went to bed and then for some reason somebody's in my bed. Nobody in particular, but maybe. Not that we've done anything, she just happened to appear there, you know? Because it's always nicer sleeping with somebody else than sleeping alone. Unless it's a dude and they're trying to spoon you. You know, no. Or it's a dog and they shove you off of your own bed. That's always annoying too. Taking a moment to recall where you are. You have a vague recollection of exhaustion and grog, and before that, digging up treasure and dealing with Blackguard. You and Caesar splurged on a private room, unwilling to stay in the commons with so much cash. So when the doorknob starts to turn, the first thing you reach for is your pistol. But it's Caesar, wearing a grin, huge as he is. "Good morning, Captain," he says cheerfully. "So do I have a ton of gold now?" "I have 360 doubloons." It was split evenly from Tanima, Blackguard, Caesar, myself, and I guess they must have counted gun in there as well. Because, I mean, if it was just the 4, I should have 500. But, I mean, there is the finder's fee, too, so maybe it's reduced. So it would be the 4 and then the finder's fee. So we actually just split it evenly, I guess. I groan, roll over, and pull my pillow over my head. I ask why he's up so early. I swing out of bed. Time's a waste, and I've a ship to buy. His bed is awfully warm, but it has too few people in it. I don't know. Would doing this invite Caesar into my bed? I don't. No. Let's just go buy my ship. "It's a big day today," you say in the same cheerful tone. "It is indeed, Captain. I've news for you." "Well then, report, First Mate Lord," you say, in what you hope is a captainly tone of voice. Caesar laughs, so you suspect you didn't quite manage it. You'll grow into it. This is Caesar. "I headed off before first light, down to the docks, to see if anyone was up and looking for work." He waits for you to nod before he continues. "There were plenty, a few of them still drunk from their hours at the tavern, but more early risers, with a look of hard workers. And Tanima Cambiante was there also. If you approve of them, you've got a crew." You have a crew. That almost makes you a real captain, and despite yourself, you can't hide your excitement. "Let's find ourselves a ship," you say. The docks of San Alfonso are a busy place, with both legitimate and larcenous captains moving their cargo in and out. While Mateo Rodriguez, the respected shipwright, might be the best person to consult about getting a new ship, you heard in conversations at the Lobo Negro that his ship work is booked until next spring. A captain with enough coin could probably persuade him to fit an extra order, but you've neither the clout nor the wealth to be that captain. Not yet, anyway. So your best option is to take a stroll down to the Harbour Master's office. A Capitan de Porto, Carolina de la Playa, knows exactly who in San Alfonso is willing to sell the ship, and she'll broker it for a price. So, not yet anyway. That's definitely going to be, I'm either going to have a chance to upgrade my ship, or my ship's going to be destroyed. I'm going to end up back here, and then I can probably still have my money to buy a ship from him. It says not yet anyway. That is a hint I'm going to be getting a new ship at some point. Should something happen to my ship, or should I choose to upgrade my ship? Get some breakfast from a bakery and listen to gossip. Take a walk down the docks and try identifying likely ships. Go to the Harbour Master's office. Let's go to breakfast. You and Caesar pick up breadfruit pastries and local conversation at a Pandaria? Mr. Pandaria? There we go. It's Pandaria. Within view of the docks. The pastry is excellent, the gossip less so, but you do pick up a few interesting tidbits. A few people stop to congratulate you on your future captaincy. It seems that Captain Blackguard has been saying nice things about you around San Alfonso. A few people give you a wary look. Blackguard is not well liked, and being his ally makes you suspect. But either way, you're getting more recognition than you'd received just yesterday. As far as a ship goes, you hear that Captain Colon of the Bella Nina, which has the reputation of being the fastest ship in the Lucayan, was nearly apprehended by the Crown Navy. Colon is lying low, and rumor has it that he's looking to get rid of the Bella Nina. With that out of the way, you head to the Harbor Master's office. Not the Labor Master's. Where's my fame? It's still at 25. It hasn't gone up at all. Carolina de la Playa is a stern woman nearly 60. You've heard stories that in her youth she was a fierce duelist, and the scar that runs from the corner of her eye to her shoulder attests that she's seen plenty of action. Despite her graying hair, you see hints of the dark tresses that once earned her the moniker the Sea Raven, and you suspect she's not any more lenient as Capitan de Porto than she was as a pirate. Oh, Captain of the Port, is that what that means? I'm assuming. She stands up from her desk as you and Caesar enter and gives you an appraising look. I wonder that... Oh, okay, it's an old woman, nearly 60. Let me get a voice for her real quick. I wondered when you'd be in Morgan? Yep, she says without preamble. Word in San Alfonso is that you're looking for a ship. Congratulations on your promotion to captain. You search her face for any hint of sarcasm or judgment, but her expression is carefully blank. It would be wise to never play cards with this woman. Thank you, ma'am. Word is right. What do you have for me? I've got a crew. Need someone to put them. I would be polite, but she's clearly not that type of person. She's going to see through my bullshit, so word is right. What do you have for me? De La Playa quirks an eyebrow at you, seemingly amused by your presence. You bet she treats all new captains this way. It's good news for you, she says after a moment's consideration. I have 3 ships I want out of my dock and back to sea. You may have heard that the schooner Bella Nina is up for sale. Or is that schooner? Is that how you pronounce that? I believe it's schooner. I'm brokering that for Captain Cologne, taking offers starting at 400 doubloons. Captain Cudgel's retiring, and I'm brokering the sale of his brig, the Twilight Maiden, starting at 250. You wait, but when she says nothing, you prompt her. And the third? The Sea Queen, she says. She's an old galleon and perfectly seaworthy, large hold and plenty of cannons. You can hear the but before she says it. The problem is that she's haunted. De La Playa, in the same straight tone through the hitch in the beginning, reveals just a bit of fear. Truth to tell you, if you can get her out of my harbor, she's yours. Which ship would you like to look at? We're going to look at the haunted ship, obviously. Free ship, mine. The galleon, with its crowned mermaid figurehead, is an imposing old lady moored yards out from the dock. She's dark, and though it looks like there have been attempts to keep her in good care while she's been in the harbor, you see line that needs to be replaced, sails that need mending, spots on the hull that need pitch. Given how much you'll save on getting the ship for free, though, you think it'll be worth the expense in repairs.
I know you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Did you know Xander went to the race here?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. And there's nothing like sailing a haunted ship to improve your fame. Damn right. I'll take her. I'd like to see how she handles before I commit. I want to see the other ships before I commit. I'm ready to make an offer on a ship. I'd like to see how she handles. I mean, she's going to give it to me for free anyway, so I might as well. The Capitan de Porto looks at you, as though reassessing your merit. That's a wise decision. She puts her hands on your hips. Yeah. She puts her hands on her hips and takes a look at the haunted galleon. You'll take her for a trial run, De La Playa says. Skeleton crew. Not literally, Caesar says, sounding more nervous than you'd have expected of him. The Capitan de Porto's lips twitch in something resembling a smile. Not literally, I hope. So she said that, yes? Not literally, I hope. Caesar has a good grace to turn away from her to hide his gulp of apprehension. De la Playa gestures to the ship. Take her out, Captain Morgan. I wish you luck. Be back in time for the auction if you want chances at those other ships. The Sea Queen is a beautiful old galleon and would have been in her heyday. Everywhere you look, things appear to be in disrepair, but upon closer inspection, it's an illusion. The ship is well kept despite the air of dust. She's moored far away from the docks to keep other sailors from being too put off by her presence. Even the most logical of pirates would have to be tend to have a superstitious streak, and you can understand why the Capitan de Porto would like to be rid of her. The two sailors who work for De la Playa ready enough to get rid of you by the time they get to the mooring. I got a text. Caesar brought a handful of your crew to board her, including Tanima Cambiante. She ought to be able to handle anything spooky, he says under his breath as you survey the group. While most of the crew look nervously at the prospect of boarding a haunted ship, the Cambiante just looks at the ship like it's a puzzle. You climb up the ladder, determined to show no hesitation in your first moments as captain. Caesar is a little more hesitant, but you'd be surprised if anyone but you saw this caution rather than a determination to supervise the new crew under his scrutiny. Tanima follows behind you closely, her thoughtful expression fading into excitement the closer she gets to the deck. The rest of your crew look ready enough to take her out into the harbor and bring her back once you've made your judgment. The few nervous sailors who rowed you out the mooring are in a hurry to get back to the docks. You glance at your Cambiante. Well, Tanima? It's definitely haunted, says Tanima, her eyes closed. She breathes in slowly, and you think the deck ripples beneath her feet. She looks at you with a shrug. I don't know if she's friendly or malicious, but I always think it's best to be polite to ghosts. I'll help as best I can. What is your strategy for facing this ghost? I challenge the ghost to a duel. I use my magic to politely summon the spirit. I use my magic to force the spirit to appear. I ask Tanima to summon the spirit. I'm going to use my magic because I'm at 62, right? Yeah. I'm going to use my magic. And I'm remembering now to re-click it if I go to show stats and then come back. I hopefully won't make that mistake in this playthrough. I use magic to politely summon the spirit. I was at 62 and now I'm at 69. Giggity. You close your eyes and let yourself feel the ship around you. The wood that planks the deck, the cloth of the sails that only barely remembers it came from plants, the water pressing in on the hull, the warm breeze that teases your clothing, the fire hidden within the pitch that holds the ship together, and there, as Tanima said, you sense a spirit. You let a bit of air touch the place where the spirit resides, beckoning it, asking it to come forward. When you open your eyes, before you on the deck appears the spectral form of an old woman wearing a tricorn hat, glasses, a captain's jacket, and a cutlass. You must be the spirit behind the Sea Queen's haunted reputation, you say. You must be the latest in a long line of daredevil captains to attempt to take my ship, the old woman says, her voice crotchety. Oh, it's crotchety. Just like the other one? Are they the same voice? You must be the latest in a long line of daredevil captains to attempt to take my ship, the old woman says. What makes you think I'll give her to you? What makes you think I'm asking? Be gone, foul spirit. I see a long and profitable partnership opportunity. Aren't you bored of being moored? Let's be reasonable about this. Let's make this a partnership. Ship owner. Acquired one ship to launch your fleet. The ghost grins. You sound like I did when I was your age, she says. Always looking at the business end. You got a name? Captain Morgan Benstacar, you say. Granny O'Malley, she answers. I'll let you captain my ship for a bit so long as you don't make me mad. Don't think I won't toss you with the first opportunity if I think you're treating her wrong. I'll make every effort to see it doesn't come to that, you say, and Granny shakes her head. Politeness only goes so far for a pirate, she warns. I've done all right today, you quip. The ghost laughs and fades. The dusty atmosphere fades with her. The ship looks beautiful, better cared for than most ships with a living crew. Let's take her out, you say to your small crew. Hoist the sails and let's see what she can do. As soon as the mainsail is down, Tanima summons a soft wind to take her out. You spend an hour at sea that could almost be a pleasure cruise, and you've still got time to make the auction. You won't officially own the Sea Queen until you tell Carolina de la Playa the good news about your haunted ship. The auction is scheduled for 2 bells, a few hours after De La Playa left you, and you hear some buzz around San Alfonso as the time nears. A crowd gathers near the harbor master's office, including several members of your crew and some faces you recognize from the Lobo Negro. Anne Reed is there, looking as fabulous and wealthy as her reputation. The newcomer you noticed at the Lobo Negro last night approaches you from the crowd. He holds out his hand for you to shake, making a show of not having any weapons available. You suspect he's got at least one dagger in his vest, and that peace knot on his sword looks more decorative than functional. There's something that seems a little off about him. He doesn't quite fit in here in San Alfonso, but then San Alfonso gets all kinds. Joaquin de Aveles. I'm assuming that's how it is, he says, introducing himself. They say you're the man to know if I want inside knowledge about this auction. Caesar gives you a look, requesting permission to rid yourself of this suspiciously cheerful newcomer, but you shake your head. No need to be rude yet. Depends on what you want to know, you say. I understand there's going to be a duel, he says lightly. Is that how things are normally done around here? Sometimes, not usually. We're not all that bloodthirsty. We're better way to solve a quarrel. I don't know why there would be a duel, but yeah. Next you're going to tell me that some of you even have a code of honor, Joaquin jokes, and you're not quite sure whether he's mocking you or trying to fit in. Some of us, you confirm lightly enough to let him wonder whether you're joking or not. In truth, sometimes there's a duel, sometimes there's just gold on the table, and sometimes Carolina de Playa actually accepted bids in open negotiation rather than make a spectacle. You wonder if the public auction is for your benefit or detriment, or if it has nothing to do with you at all. But today there will be a duel, Joaquin presses. Only if the crowd is very lucky. Only if the crowd is very lucky, Caesar murmurs. It is possible to handle these things in a civilized manner. Joaquin's grin is wolfish, and you wonder how a newcomer in San Alfonso has already learned how to make a show of restraining violence. I should certainly hope so, he says. Even though you're already the proud captain of the Sea Queen, the auction will be worth watching, and might even provide additional business opportunities if you decide to take them, like an extra ship in my fleet. The crowd is most excited about the auction of the Bella Nina, in part because Anne Reed is making a bid for it. Do you want to make a try for the Bella Nina? I want to spend the funds, but I'll watch the crowd. No, I'll wait for the next auction. Why not? I just want to find De La Playa and set sail. Let's watch the crowd. Anne faces off against another captain you've seen at the Lobo Negro. Though you can't recall his name, he is a surly-looking fellow who knows his way around a bottle better than he knows his way around a cutlass, as far as you can tell. After De La Playa announces the terms combat, parley, or challenge, Anne, to the disappointment of the crowd, calls for a parley. There's a buzz of conversation as the watchers speak their hopes that the negotiation will fail. But the buzz ends in disappointment as Anne Reed walks away from De La Playa triumphantly. Offer me your congratulations, people of San Alfonso, Anne says to the crowd. You're looking at the next pirate king. The buzz builds, this time with disbelief. And there'll be drinks in it tonight for the 10 people of the for the first 10 people of the Lobo Negro to wish me luck. That brings cheers, and the rumble of the audience lightens, though there is still a number of people wary of her claim against the pirate king. What would he say if he knew? Once the excitement of the auction for the Bella Nina dies down, the next auction begins. Do you want to make a try for the Twilight Maiden? No, but I'll watch the proceedings with interest. The two main bidders square off, choosing to resolve their issues with violence. The pair are even less well known than you are, which is saying something, and both look like rough-and-tumble types that get thrown out of the Lobo Negro for being too rowdy. The woman draws her cutlass and charges, but the man pulls a pistol before she gets close, shooting her in the shoulder. Bad form, calls Anne Reed, commanding the attention of the audience and the duelists. She grins. Could have hit me or my crew with a shot like that. Carolina de la Playa nods sagely, and though you might be imagining it, you think it pains her to agree with Anne Reed. That's Carolina de la Playa. By El Sabio's rules, no pistols may be used in duels within 100 paces of spectators, she declares. The Twilight Maiden goes to Shaban Mark by default. The woman clutches her injured shoulder, her sword limp in her hands, but despite the injury, she's beaming. Her opponent glowers, and you have a feeling that Shaban Mark has just made her first enemy. The crowd disperses and it's time to make your way along as well. Did that third... Okay, Jacqueline is in, so I guess Shaban isn't going to be like any of the people. So these are the ones that I'm going to be dealing with for the most part. I got another text message. That's fun. So, did my greed go up? My greed went up. What the hell did my greed go up for? What? Was that for saying the free ship thing or whatever? Well, I can deal with that anyway. The two main bidders square off. Blah, 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 blah. Already read that one. Yep. It takes time to arrange things and for the crew to wrap up their affairs, so you've at least one more night in San Alfonso before you ship out. There's time to socialize if you prefer. Romance while you're still in port. Then again, there's always work to be done, and you're just about to embark on your illustrious and ignoble new career. How will you spend the evening? With Caesar, Tanima, Henri, Jacqueline, comely and willing partner, vessel, making sure everything's ship-shape. We'll go talk with Tanima. For a friendship or romance? Is this... See, this is one of the parts where it's kind of weird, I guess, because it asks you, are you trying to be friends with them or are you trying to romance them? No, I'm not. I mean, that's not my personality. I'm not, like, directly trying to romance somebody. I want to get to know them first. So, like, towards the way of friendship, but with romance in mind at some point. I don't want to click on friendship because it might not give me an opportunity for anything like that later, which these games are actually usually pretty good about. Like, if there'll probably be a chance at some point, but I don't want to click romance, even though that would be true, because I don't want it to make my character go up and be like, hey babe, and act like a fuckboy or whatever. But we're going to go ahead and click romance anyway. Tanima is once again sitting by herself at the Lobo Negro, but she offers no hesitation when you move to join her. Captain Morgan, she says pleasantly. Tanima, you say smoothly, I'm looking forward to getting to know you better. She looks away shyly, not missing your innuendo. Can I tell you I'm excited, or is that unprofessional? She asks, then looks horrified as she realizes how you might take her answer. You laugh to put her at ease. I hope we'll have something other than a professional relationship, you say. She steels herself to meet your eyes. I'd like that, she says. Okay, so it's not like straight up pushing, but I mean, like, having a conversation about that, it's weird because out of this situation that I've read so far, actually, I'm going to go ahead and finish reading this. You spend the evening talking about her dreams of going to sea and her fears that the violence and greed of the pirate's life will be too much for her. You assure her that if she has fears, she can always come to you. Tanima has a small home by La Universidad de Cambiar, little more than a room with a roof and a bed. But it's the bed that's important, and even then, not all that necessary. Thank you! She begins the encounter shyly, but you take time to help her relax. And more. What? The sun falls, leaving behind the heat of the day, the warm humidity clinging to your skin long after you've left your clothing behind. No! Your nocturnal activities do nothing to cool you down, but they leave you relaxed and sated, ready to start the next step of your career. You've known her for 2 days! Why? You can't be like, I want to get to know you better, and then be months at sea and actually get to know the character more. I mean, obviously she's a character in a story, so she's kind of one-sided, but 2 days! 2 days! She better be cute. She's gonna sacrifice me to the devil, I fucking know it. In the morning, Caesar is once again up before dawn, and you meet him at the docks. The Sea Queen sails billow in the morning breeze, and your crew arrives to board. Supplies loaded aboard, Captain, Caesar says cheerfully. We're waiting for your permission to cast off. Permission granted, first mate, you say with what you hope is a captainly gravitas. You stand at the helm of the Sea Queen, and Granny O'Malley appears next to you. Ready to head out? She asks, her crotchety voice rumbling. Wind from the west, you call, and Tanima repeats the order. Wind billows into the sails, and you're headed into open water. I'm ready, you say to Granny, but she's already faded back into the ship. You're on the sea with your ship and your crew, and you're ready to begin your illustrious or ignoble career. Sounds like fun. Let's go check my stats. I'm only at 71% with her? Seriously? You've known her for 2 days, you're already at 71%, but even though you're only at 71%, like 71% seems really low to be doing that kind of shit already. The 71, no. Go up to 90 at least first. Damn. The hell. Alright, fine. I guess we'll go to chapter 4, plunder and loot then. I mean, it's not really a whole big deal. I mean, as long as it doesn't end up getting like really complicated, or she doesn't bring that back, like, yeah, yep. Relationships are complicated. Just don't have sex until you're married, and because at that point there's no problems at all. It's just just know people for more than 2 days.